Good evening, Sim World. Hope you are doing well and had a good holiday. We got a doubleheader going here. 4th of July, one day after. That means two. And you know what we also got, Bob? We got the two of us behind the mic. It's your favorite around the table crew in action calling this game. Bob joining me, E. Lava, but we have Beast of the East hosting Run DMV. This is a huge Atlantic Division showdown, a lot on the line here. You know, more than your average regular season SimWorld game, I'd say. There is seeding, and there is certainly pride on the line tonight. Beasts get the ball first, get underway, but ripped away, stolen. Here comes DMV. Brandon Smith. Oh, but the deflection on the other end. He'll be able to come up with the ball, but we'll take start to this one, Rob.
Absolutely. You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing who really steps up for each of these teams tonight. I mean, for DMV, it really can be anybody because obviously we have talked about it before. They don't really have that guy. They have some guys, but they don't have that guy like they did with CKC last season.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, Levin Cutler gets good position inside and finishes. Cutler with a little bit of a size advantage over his counterpart Nick Hugo there, and used it well to get Beast on the board and open up the scoring here at the shooting gallery. And this is a lovely facility. I mean, I know you can be a little cynical at times, but even you have to admit this is a beautiful, classy arena, would you say?
Yeah, I really like the blood splatter down here on the bottom, on the one corner, and how they filled the free throw line with it. But yeah, pretty nice.
Well, we've been able to draw blood on that possession, and they turn it over here once again. East can back up the court.
For the East to win this game, I really think we need to see the best Cutler that we can see.
Well, Cutler gets an assist right there. He feeds Eric Busk. Busk returned to the starting lineup, and he's actually back in the SimWorld ranking. He's 85th ranked player in SimWorld, number 23 out there playing defense right now. Gets a three and another turnover. Both these teams with some active hands, breaking up some passing lanes, coming up with some balls. And Hugo called on Nick Hugo right there, and that is going to send Beast to the line and Fareed Redmond. Redmond, a 6'4", 17-year-old out of Hagerstown, Maryland, and he's averaging a team-high 14.4 points per game.
I live near Hagerstown, and maybe I'll run into it at one of my Chinese buffets.
Hey. Is that where you can be found when you're in Hagerstown, or is that what it's known for?
No, that's where I can be found at either the all-you-can-eat sushi buffet or the all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet.
I like it. Very good. Good stuff.
But yeah, you talked about how both hands, all the hands on this court right now have been pretty. They've been pretty handsy.
Active.
They've been a lot of pretty active. There you go. I couldn't think of the word.
But
it's not working out. Yeah, it's not working out as well for DMV as it has for Beast of the East.
Well, Beast of the East on top of the Atlantic Division right now. There are 17 wins and 9 losses, but DMV right there with them. 15 wins, 9 losses on the season. Still can't get on the board here early on in this one, however.
Yeah, they're just getting the jitters out early.
Oh, nice drive by Redmond.
Nice little move.
8-0 here. 2.5 minutes gone. Brandon Smith brings it up and tries to settle down DMV.
Ooh, getting a little sketchy right there. Running full speed to the sideline and then making a quick pass.
Barely holding up. Oh boy. That looked like a shot put there from Brandon, but wouldn't go. Maybe trying something else just to see if it works. I don't know.
I guess he still had 7 seconds. I hate to see him run all the way down, run the clock all the way down, but I hate to see him throw up a Hail Mary like that.
Well, let's see if Coach Myron Murray of DMV is going to get a timeout here. 10-0 lead, and yeah, Coach Murray does want to talk it over. Great start here early on. Beasts of the East on their home court, looking to go to 18-9 on the season. We got a timeout on the court. We're going to take a break as well, but come right back. We're going to return here to action at the shooting gallery. Great start from the home team. They are up 10-0. 4:48 to go in the first quarter. Reed Redmond, Vin Cutler looking good early in this one. And for Run DMV, just a little disjointed to start so far, but they have been playing well of late, DMV. Won their last two, including a big win, 78-66 over G5. Impressive result there between those rivals.
Specifically a Bellardi-less G5. That's the important part.
Yeah, Bellardi-less, but full of Matthews and Williams and Mbakos and Aaron Lovejoy and more. They're still a contender. I mean, this whole East Coast in SimWorld pretty loaded. Oh! Shooting foul on Cutler. Let's send Brandon Smith to the line and chance to finally get on the board for DMV early. Brandon Smith just averaging 9.3 points per game this season, but he's been active on offense here. Obviously not much to show for it early on, but playing a little more aggressively.
Yeah, he was really the guy that I expected to see the most out of, or the biggest jump for DMV this season, just because he was one of the returners. It just really... We've seen some big shots from him throughout the season, but he just hasn't been consistent enough.
Well, you bring up a good point there, I think, Bob, and it's not just Smith. I think across SimWorld, I've been a little bit surprised to see that a lot of the returning players, a lot of the SimWorld veterans from the first season, haven't been as big stars as I expected, with the notable exceptions of Tyson Simpson and Trey Turner. It's been a lot of the new faces, both 17 and 16 years old, that have been showing up. Smith, another steal. That's two for him early on. Gets it up ahead to Hugo. Can't get it, but gets his own rebound and throws it down. Hugo, of course, had that massive 11-block game. I believe it was 11 blocks. I'm sure my producer, Ron Yell, will correct me if I'm off on that. But that is a SimWorld record, too, I believe. Is that correct?
Yep.
Oh wow! There you go.
We had a couple 8-block games, a 9-block game, but that was the most.
Oh, second chance opportunity this time for Cutler. Nick Hugo, just 6'7" and about 225 pounds, and just 16 years old. Obviously, room to grow and get better, but he has been impressive, particularly on that defensive end, rebounding and shot blocking for DMV this year.
Ooh, can't miss those kind of shots, especially when you're down by 8.
Yeah, well, DMV's been missing most of their shots so far, unfortunately. There, one won't go for Cutler, and John Hudgens, biggest man out on the court tonight at 6'10", pulls down the rebound, and hey, look at that, nice transition bucket on that end for DMV.
And just like that, the lead starts to close up, and
Cut in half already, that lead. Oh, that's a great pass from Redmond to find Cutler, but he can't finish. Gets a second opportunity. Eric Busk getting it done early on in this one. That's 2 threes for him. 6 points.
Kind of looks like Eric Busk kind of reminds me of like if all of a sudden the game just kind of some music started playing and it's High School Musical. It's High School Musical. I think it's, I don't know if it's the haircut or what.
Yeah, I can see it a little bit. What's that actor's name? I'm blanking on it.
Zac Efron.
Star, of course. Zac Efron. Yeah, well, hey, that's a compliment. I could live with it. Like people, you know, I go to the grocery store and people are like, "Hey, that guy looks like Zac Efron." I wouldn't be mad about that, most likely. Instead, it's like, "Hey, that guy looks a little bit like a younger Bill Maher," which, whatever. 10-point lead restored for Beasts of the East. 2 minutes, coming up on 2 minutes to go here anyway in the first quarter.
Whenever I go walking through the grocery store, they just think it's the remake of Bob.
That's not true. Not true, Bob. I refuse to believe that. I'll make you retract that statement. Oh, look at that. Nice hands by Redmond. Nice awareness by Redmond to come up with that after Busk had it tipped out. And Redmond's just going to attack and finish. It's really strong opening performance here in this quarter for Deuce Lucas. And Bob, I want to warn you too. Oh! Nick Hugo, wow. Rising above up there, but recent games that I've been calling, Bob, have not been particularly close. I'm hoping this one turns into a better one, but I'm on a little bad luck streak. I've had some blowouts lately, but we're gonna change direction on that tonight. And actually, speaking of that, I want to remind everybody we have a second game coming up after this one. It's going to be Gulf Coast Lockdown taking on the North. The North, of course, just had a recent impressive victory. It's been a tough season for the North, but they're looking for some bright moments and maybe going to add another one. They're traveling to take on Gulf Coast, Suno Chapa, and Gulf Coast, and that's going to come up at 7 p.m. Eastern. Probably a little bit after 7 p.m., to be honest. It usually goes a few minutes long, but go ahead and tune in and be there. And actually, the smart move is just don't leave, because we've got the post-up coming up between games tonight. Between our own Jalen, and of course, Yell's going to be there too. So those are always fun. Those are always funny. Those are always entertaining. And you know what? Often you learn something. So
I think one thing that I think I can teach you right now is we are currently announcing the 7 o'clock game here.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry. I'm at 8 p.m. Yeah. Well, for those of you on Central Time, it's all good. Some subs in the game here with 1:17 to go. In fact,
whole team coming out.
full scale lineup change for East. A new backcourt in the game for DMV. And oh boy, everything but the finish there from Kasim Porter Jr.
I mean, you got to dunk it if you can. He's a little guy, so.
Yeah, Kasim's a point guard kind of combo guard.
He's a shooter.
Well, number one, uniform number 1 out there for Beast. Couldn't get his shot to go, but Kamarian Bracken sinks one. And, there you go. Kasim Porter Jr., KPJ. We are just going back and forth up and down the court here, and boy, that was Hugo with the dunk, but Beast of the East lucky a foul wasn't called there as well, really.
I don't know. I think he's lucky that he didn't get called for that new NBA flop rule, the new flop rule.
APJ has entered the game, is just taking over here a little bit. Point margin, there's about an 8-second difference between game clock and shot clock, so Beast should definitely get it back here.
I think he's showing why he believes that next season, once Busk is gone, he should probably be their starting point guard.
Now, KPJ, he is a big fan in SimWorld's very own Siege. Last time we called a Beast of the East game, he made it clear his love for his game. Oh, nice block. Chance for a half-court heave, 3/4 court, way short.
Almost.
3-point advantage for Beast. Run at least got in the game, trimmed things down a little bit. And hey, there's a lot of basketball left to go. So come right back in the second quarter when we return to the shooting gallery on SimWorld TV. And we are back. Good opening quarter for the home squad, but it is DMV ball. Setting things up here, bringing it up court. Ryan Bracken. Oh, look at that. What a shake and bake. That is a pro-level move there from Bracken. 6'1", 200-pounder out of Annapolis, Maryland. Here's his counterpart. Oh, KPJ gives it up this time, however. Oh, maybe he should have shot it.
I hope we're still talking about that, kid, because Annapolis, Maryland is not a great place to be. Hope he survives to make it to the NBA.
Wait, Annapolis, that's the Naval Academy, yeah?
I mean, what's that matter?
Oh, the heck with the Navy. Their uniforms are the worst in the whole military. Navy people don't get mad at me. It's just a person. Navy people, please don't find me on Twitter and start to ratio me or something. I don't need it.
Ratio?
That's a term.
What is ratio? Is that something like
ratio?
Is that like saying "don't at me"?
No, actually, it's a variety of that. So, a little Twitter education for Bob, for anybody else out there that maybe want it. Ratio is actually a term that is applied to the comments of a tweet or post. When you post something like, like what? I think Kelvin Cato was the greatest Houston Rocket ever. And maybe you even truly mean it. But then you start to get comments which let you know that 99% of people disagree with you, and you got a bad ratio on your comments. That's what's happening. So ratio just means when the comments don't go as you really expect. At the line, Bracken. Oh, this is that one. 7-point advantage for Beast.
Oh, I thought he was going to lose his shoes there for a second.
Now, Kamarian Goodyear, skilled player, 6'4" wing, averaging 9.2 points per game this year. He can also shoot from outside, 26 threes, really on the team.
you'd like to see a couple more Run DMV players trying to pick up that rebound, not 5-on-1.
We're going to take a quick timeout. 9-point advantage for the home squad when we return. We're back as the jump is up. Goes DMV's way.
Actually, would have lost that bet. I was going to bet that Beast would have won that because I feel like every time a little. Ooh!
Because they're just taller. And Nick Hugo doesn't care. He doesn't care that he's constantly undersized out there. He really doesn't, and he always is. I mean, it makes his statistical performances like that 11 block game, the 8 block games that came before it, just really stand out. This has to be 3 seconds. I think call.
Nah.
Bad break there for DMV. Beauty show. You get the bucket to go, but it will stay with Beasts. And some subs in again. Nick Hugo staying out there. I don't think Nick's gotten a rest yet. Hey, Bob, this is... You younger fellas, this is going to be before your time. But I want to throw out a comp. I want to throw out a comp there for Nick Hugo that some of the older basketball heads tuned in tonight may recognize. Kenny Battle from the late 1980s, early 1990s, Flying Illini, where they had like a championship level team and nobody was taller than 6'7", I think. And that was Kenny Battle. He was like 6'7", 220, and just a tank at that size. Played in the NBA for a few years too, and maybe that's where Hugo's going to end up if he keeps this kind of performance up as well.
I mean, is he related? Is it like Taylor Battle's dad or grandpa or something? That's the only Battle I know.
Now you're out there throwing references I don't know. So what am I supposed to do with that?
No, I don't know. You make me look stupid, I make you look stupid. It's a fair trade-off.
It evened out. And actually, I do know Taylor Battle, and I know why you mentioned him. You're a Penn State fan. But outside of Big Ten folks like me and you, I don't know if a lot of people are going to know that. No, younger folks, Kenny Battle. Go to Google, go to Wikipedia, do something.
Yeah, whatever you use. This Google's probably too old for people. They probably, I don't know, what do they use?
Hey, last time I mentioned Wikipedia on a broadcast, I was told Wikipedia was for old people. So I don't know. What are you supposed to do? That's what I was told.
I don't know. So I'll tell you what. I don't know if it makes me old or not. I don't watch movies. I read them on Wiki.
Yeah. Wiki is, again, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to make references that are too old school tonight, but you know what Wikipedia is?
Oh, Hugo. Look at Eric, it's a 2-point game. It was a 10. Yeah, I know. Here we are talking about Wikipedia, and we went from a 10-0 deficit to a 2-point game.
Back in my day, before we had Wikipedia, you had to go buy a little yellow and black book called Cliff Notes. And that's basically what Wikipedia is. It's Cliff Notes for movies, for books, for whatever. I've done what you're talking about with movies. I've done that 100 times. I'm not interested enough to go see that movie. I'll just go read the Wikipedia article. And now I know it.
Yeah, I laid in bed one night, spent 30 minutes. I read every single Saw movie.
God. That was a much more pleasant experience than watching those. So I don't want to get sidetracked on that. Little porn horror thing. I like a psychological. You know what else I like, Bob? I like a tight basketball game, and we have one. Finally, 1 point, 1 possession game. You have his Cutler's trying to go inside on Hugo. Nice defense from Hugo. Forced to give it up there. Clock winding down. Desperation 3 will not go.
We'll see Hugo. I don't know if Hugo is going to come off the court or he's going to miss the entire third quarter.
I mean, why not just let him play? As long as he's getting it done out there, you know, he's like a starting pitcher. He's still bringing the heat. Don't put the reliever in. Oh, well, maybe that's a sign that his legs are getting a little dead. Cutler beating on that possession. And look, Cutler's a load, too. You know, we've been talking a lot about Hugo. Let's give Vin Cutler a little bit of love. That is the 28th ranked person there in SimWorld.
Ooh, tie game, baby. Charles
Let's give Coach Myron Murray some credit, too. He is really got back here with this DMV squad that looked like they might get in a hole they couldn't get out of early on.
Got to give Charles Pinkard some more time shooting like that.
Hey, Pinkard is a sharpshooter. But to be honest, I expected to be much more of a factor DMV than he really has been this season. He's been fairly consistently coming off the bench. Well, DMV can tie this back up or take their first lead of the game. Hugo calling for it, really wanting the ball here. Smith.
He needs to get a little bit closer to the basket if he wants to.
I guess that's what Brandon's telling him. Long jumper will not go.
So there's a little bit of back and forth earlier this week about bigs. The top 5 SimWorld News bigs came out. What are your thoughts on where Nick Hugo and Levin Cutler deserve to be in the top bigs conversation?
Man. Well, let's take it from the top. There's no question about number 1, right?
Yeah.
There's no real argument. No, that's Tyson. That's Tyson Simpson. But below them, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Derek Long. I'm a huge fan of Trey Hyman. You know, I think they have to be in the discussion. Aaron Payne has to absolutely be in the discussion too. And then you get into, you know, Levin Cutler, so good, highly ranked, and yet I feel like, I don't know, just a quieter player, you know, just a quieter, like get it done guy. So maybe, I don't know where to kind of put him. And then, you know, for me, Evangelos Mullins and Nick Hugo are kind of in their own category of these undersized post players. And both of them do really tend to play as like, you know, true 5s, true centers. Less so than you know, conventional power forward kind of position, which their height would kind of suggest. And to see them hold their own, impressive. Just straight up impressive. Man.
You know, I'll say I'm going to mention one name that you did not mention. Which it's surprising, but not surprising at the same time because he's not necessarily lived up to his preseason hype, and that's Henrik Beckman.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be, and he was playing like he was going to be the best big.
Looked great in the preseason. Yes, sir.
And still putting up 14.3 points a game and 6 rebounds, but he just kind of, people forget about him now. I mean, and he's on a losing team. They're 10-14, but it's surprising when people forget about him.
Yep. That's a big factor. You know, if you're on a losing team, people just don't. Whoa! Elevation, Brandon Smith. A veteran Brandon Smith. Look at that. Wow.
Turning it on when he needs to.
John Hudgens with the steal.
Oh, you gotta put that in a good block by Cutler.
You got him. A great play.
A little bit of magic on my eyes. I didn't realize what happened there. That was a terrible pass.
Brandon Smith has it again. DMV still has never led in this game, but it's tightened up here in the second quarter.
Another bad
lazy pass from Smith there. Yep.
Busk was in front of him the entire time.
Now, Busk is a good defensive player. Pretty kid, Eric Busk. Oh, Butler. Wow, Butler looked like he was on skates on that play. Averaging 14.3 points and shooting 62% from the field. Ben Butler. 30 seconds to go, first half. Long three, well off. Beasts can hold for one shot on this possession if they care to. And yeah, looks like Busk is going to pull this out, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. This guy's Smith on him. Gives it up. Is it back? Going to try another three. Oh! Rattles out as the buzzer expires, but the Beasts still on top by 4. Head to halftime, and obviously, East of the East, red hot to start this game. Nice job, DMV, getting back in it, clawing back in it, tied it up in the second quarter. What do you think was the difference there, Bob, and DMV getting back in this one?
I mean, I think it's pretty clear. Hugo, he's the heart and soul of this team. He hasn't left the court at all, I don't think. He's been on there for all 16 minutes. And just him being out there and not giving up just gives his team a little bit of hope. And I think he's just willing them there. I mean, obviously, he's not having some amazing game, but what he's doing, just being out there on the court, he just makes his teammates better. And I think they don't give up. Coach Murray teams don't give up. So it's all heart right now.
When you see it, leading scorer Nick Hugo with 14. Hey, I tried to give him the nickname The Artist after Victor Hugo last game I had him in, but maybe he's the Iron Man. Find out if he's going to play the entire second half when we return after this break.
And to make it a 2-possession game, and they will! Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere. Oh! Ho, ho!
SimWorld presents Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
What's up, everybody? This is Big Bob.
And this is Elava.
And we are the co-hosts of Around the Table with E and the Fat Man.
Around the Table is the SimWorld Hoops podcast where Big Bob and I give our takes on various sports around the world.
Make sure to tune in every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time to hear our takes.
And don't forget to join in on the conversation with us on Discord at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA.
And make sure to follow us on Twitter and YouTube at SimWorld4K. And as always,
see the game, be the game. Later, folks.
All right, and we are back. Second half just underway here. DMV with the ball. Smith has it, gives it to Hugo. 14 points from 5 rebounds in that first half for Nick Hugo, who did get a brief rest. He played 15 of the 16 minutes. Well, I know, soft, right? It's kids these days.
Kids
Very
these
buttery
days.
soft. Ooh, behind the back there from Busk.
For no reason. Just being fancy for no reason.
I don't know.
Shot.
Maybe he contributed to that within.
Pretty even tonight. What was it? Right now they think they're should have played. So, quick story. It's my coach's fault. I was no, Bus can't finish it.
Yeah, no, he's after his first two, he hasn't connected since. But no, the people want to hear about Big Bob's glory days on the gridiron.
These weren't glory days, all right. My coaches they wanted me to play the offensive line, but they wouldn't make me play the offensive line. So they would ask me to play the offensive line. Never played it. I got in trouble. For, I don't even remember what I got in trouble for. And they made me, so I was the starting defensive tackle on the varsity team. And they made me suit up for every single JV game and go in for one play for punishment.
Good God.
I remember I played, it was like one offensive play, I can mean play, in JV games. It was like, why am I here?
To be honest, I mean, I'm just hearing about this situation. I haven't met your coach. I don't know any of this. But I will say, I've met enough coaches in my lifetime at that level. And, you got a lot of guys teaching social studies who, think that they're, basically think that they're Ryan Day in their spare time. And it sounds like you might have run into one right there. That's completely unnecessary.
Again,
Martinet. There's another great word. Look that up, kid. Martinet.
As an adult, it's 100. Like as an adult, I look back and go, I should have just done this. Or should have just done that. Oh, big three, a 1-point game again, Eric.
Well, and you know what, Bob? I gotta say, it seems like Run DMV gets back in this game whenever they put Kamari and Bracken out there on the court. He's had a nice game. I mean, he hasn't, not going off for 30 tonight, but he's just played some solid, efficient minutes out there.
For sure.
Ooh, great defense. I don't think that Cootie Show's intention was to pass that when he went up. Rebound by Vic Hugo as well, boxed out there, brings it up the court.
No, I think he pulled something. It looked like he pulled something. I would have pulled something if I passed out of that kind of shot.
Show pulls down the rebound there and gets it up. APJ sets things up for the Beast. He's definitely a scoring point guard, and he's going inside on this one and getting another bucket. APJ averaging 8.2. He's going to be over that tonight. 3-point lead for Beast, and it is impressive. Oh, the connection there.
Got a little too excited.
Hugo maybe needed to grow another inch or two to come up with that pass. Subs in the game. Trey Trust coming out. Trey Trust has had a pretty quiet night, which maybe been part of the struggles when they've had them for Run DMV. The 60th ranked player in the game, averaging 10.7. Just unable to get it done. PJ and Bracken, two guards coming off the bench, have really been going back and forth, kind of like the two bigs, Hugo and Butler been going at it. Yeah. Well, once again, who is it? It's Bracken. When Bracken and KPJ are out there, it's a two-man show. here.
So what we're finding out is they're both really bad at defense.
They're scoring point guards, I would say. Or that's what they're prototyping as, I believe. Oh, once again, couldn't hook up on that. Oh. Hugo able to clear it out. Nice dish. Hudgens. Oh, I think Hudgens just should have gone up strong there. Yeah, why indeed. Why indeed. And Hudgens, maybe a little bit of frustration there. Reaching foul on him. DMV has never led in this game, but they are not going away, sticking around, and it's a 3-point margin with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. And I just said that because there were 3-3 involved. It's alliterative in a numerological way.
Well, defensive breakdown.
Show takes advantage. Bucket for Show, the newest member of Beast of the East. Oh, great move from Hugo. Took it right around Kearney, who just sort of fell asleep on that play, JoJo Kearney.
So, we got some big games tomorrow, Eric. Is there one in particular that you're looking forward to the most? I will say that game of the week is tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Southeast Select versus the Originators.
Yeah, that's the one, right? I mean, you're right. We got a great triple header coming up on SimWorld TV tomorrow night, but that kicks it off, and that's the best of everything. Oh my God, Nick Hugo. I mean, I don't think JoJo Kearney can stay with him. Certainly hasn't the past couple possessions.
Doesn't matter how tired Hugo is, he's going to give you his all.
Apparently so. Ooh, stripped away there. Hudgens comes up with it. Corner three, can get it to one, and it does.
3 points.
I feel it's always one, and they just can never. I know they tied it up once, but they
tied it up, but yeah, can't get that lead, can't get over that hump. You said the East probably got some. Oh, maybe kids are just getting tired. We're seeing defenders getting burnt on both ends of the court now. I was going to say, Baba, this is probably a little bit frustrating for Beasts of the East, too, because, you're playing well, you're doing pretty well out here, and you just can't get any kind of distance on DMV. At least you haven't since the first 4 minutes when you came out to that 10-point lead.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like, did they wear themselves out in that 10-point run they had at the very beginning? Taking it a little bit slower? I mean, how some fighters are. They feel out their opponents a little bit, but they just came out full force, throwing all the punches real quick.
Rocco did not appreciate that foul call. Let the ref know it, but doesn't matter. Sean Porter Jr., the 6'3" guard from Newark, New Jersey, averaging 8.2 per contest since he joined this team, and he's risen to number 91 in the SimWorld rankings. Spent a little time in Newark myself.
And you're still here to talk about it.
I'm still here to tell about it. That's right. And I was there in the 90s, too, so it's probably a different Newark now. I haven't been there in a little while. Good restaurants, though, in the, I believe it's called the Iron Triangle, which is a Newark. Oh, no, it's called the Ironbound. It's called the Ironbound. I just remembered that. Yeah. Good little neighborhood there. Some good little restaurants.
I've been to Orange, New Jersey.
Yeah. Orange, Elizabeth, Montclair. It's all there for you.
I was there to repo a car, so I wasn't there for anything good.
Of course you were. You were probably in South Orange.
Absolutely. I was going to say South Orange, but I'm like, I don't know if that sounds right or not.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That was before I decided to go get educated. I was working them jobs.
Busk has it. 3-point advantage. We're coming up on the final 20 seconds. He gives it up to KPJ, but he can't get that shot to go. Once again, DMV tie this game back up with a 3 here, or cut it to 1.
This is where your vet has to step up.
Quarter. Maureen Bracken gets a screen. He's going to try a 3 and nail it. High ball game. Unless a 3-quarter court heave goes at the buzzer. And Busk is going to give it a go. Oh!
Waited
That
too
came
long.
closer than I thought it was going to. Hey, you put that thing on iron. That's not the worst. That's worst shot from 60 feet. And you know what? This is not the worst game either, folks. We've got one on here. Come back fourth quarter when we return to the shooting gallery. Run DMV, led by Nick Hugo and his 20 points. They've come all the way back and tied this thing up. We have a thriller on our hands here at the shooting gallery. East and East looking to hang on.
I was going to give Run DMV the opportunity to take the lead of this game, but I forgot that Beasts of the East were coming out with the ball at the fourth.
Reed Redmond can't get it to go, but there's nice positioning by Cutler, but he threw that one away.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, here's the first lead of the game, and it's punctuated with a Brandon Smith dunk for DMV.
13 points away.
Singleton playing active defense out there for DMV. Everybody, and look at that, a 4-point lead now. DMV. Keith Singleton only averages 6 points per game, quiet on the offensive end tonight, but look at him out there harassing Busk, and he contributed directly to those last 2 turnovers and 4 points.
Yeah, I think
trying to go to work on Hugo.
This is what Coach Murray does so well, is he lets other teams think for 3 quarters that they're going to win the game, and then he just lets his guys go in the fourth.
Hey, the art of closing. ABC, always be closing. Oh, John Hudgens is going to try from deep, and now Run DMV suddenly has a 7-point lead, 7-0 run in this fourth quarter. We might get a timeout here from Beast, but instead what we get is another steal. Wow, what a defensive performance turned in by Keith Singleton. 9-point advantage DMV. And very why isn't Assad Drayton getting a timeout here? Coach Drayton. There we go. Wow. Beast just come unglued. You can see some frustration there. Hands on head from Eric Busk. Not happy with himself. Not happy with himself at all. But hey, Bob, you know what does make me happy, Bob? Is adding more people to the Sim World sports media universe. Folks like you and me, we are looking for people to join the Sim World sports media team. Rioters, hey,
Rioters?
We got
I don't want any rioters.
Hey, we'll see what we can get. Contributors, if you've got a silky smooth voice like me and Bob, who knows, maybe you can get behind the mic. Anything's possible, but come check us out on Discord and join the team.
And even if you don't want to join our team, we need some coaches. You want to coach Africa? You want to coach APAC? Gotham 5 has a ton of talent.
Gotham 5, future Hoosier superstar Mackenzie Mbako. Not to mention the Matthewses, Aaron Lovejoy, loaded squad. Loaded squad. Back to reality here, and Beasts of the East. I mean, if you want to go from start to finish, it's been a 19-point swing. East led by 10. Actually, led by 10 at the end of the first quarter. DMV tightened it up. Second quarter, third quarter, even had tied the game on occasion, but didn't take the lead until this final fourth quarter. Boy, are they come out in ferocious defense, which is turned into offense. Reed Redmond trying to get him on the board. Can't. Gets it to Cutler. Oh, shot won't go. Great defense from Hugo.
Be interesting to see. Singleton came out, which Singleton was obviously the key to that little stretch there for DMV. It'll be interesting to see if they can hold on to it with him off the court.
Maintain their defensive tenacity. I also have to say, Nick Hugo has been out there pretty much all game. I do wonder if Hugo will just tire out at some point, but certainly doesn't look like it yet. And less than 6 minutes to go. Cutler had the rebound but could not put it back in. Really no excuse for not scoring on that possession.
No, not at all.
A shot there by Smith won't fall. Here comes Redmond. Redmond's been awful quiet lately. Beast needs somebody to step up quick to coach Assad Drayton.
Absolutely.
Another shot, another miss, but a second chance on this possession.
Still
won't go. 2 missed shots on that from Tim Ricks. And, well, maybe there's a little of that tiredness. Maybe there's a little of that tiredness I'm talking about, Bob. Hugo could not finish that. Would have given him a double-digit lead. Let's see if it gives any spark at all. Redmond finally gets them on the board. It took 3.5 minutes.
Way too long.
Way too long. Still enough time, though, for the home team to get back in this one, but it is a 7-point DMV lead. Pass it around the perimeter here. Legends, he can shoot from out there. So can Hugo.
Ooh.
Nails it.
Nick Hugo.
22 in the game now for Nick.
Gonna see if we can, if DMV gets to Siege's magic number first.
Oh, I think somebody has more defense. This time it comes back up into Redmond's hands, though. Bounced the right way for Beast for once. Redmond can't finish. I believe Duffin's going to pull up for a long one. I don't know if that was the shot that DMV needed right there.
I don't think so at all.
Redmond. Oh, look at that. Ripped away by John Hudgens. That's a 6'10" defender on Redmond, too, out there just picking his pocket. That's impressive.
Getting a little lax.
Hudgens takes some, gives some away. Look at this. Look at him. I mean, that's not a switch or anything. DMV has the big man Hudgens on Beast's top scorer for Reed Redmond. Rick's inside has a shot eaten alive by Duffin.
Could have told you that was not going to work out well for him very early on.
Well, it's looking like things might not work out for East unless they wake up here pretty quick. We're under 3 minutes to go. 9-point advantage, and DMV looking to extend it by 3 with this shot. They can't get it to go. Ricks finds Redmond underneath. Ooh, pretty finish from Fareed Redmond. A little bit of pressure here put on by Ricks and Beast, but Smith breaks that easily. Desperately needing a stop on this possession, Coach Drayton and Beast. Oh!
No, I thought it was bad by Cutler, but it worked out for him.
Ooh, Cutler's wide open underneath. And he finishes. 5-point game. Timeout called by DMV. Myron Murray not liking what he saw those last couple of possessions. We're going to stick with it here because I want to remind everybody, come and join us on SimWorld Discord. Find us at discord.gg/SimWorldNBA. SimWorld Discord is where all of the chatter, all of the controversy, all of the news drops. It's where you'll find me. It's where you'll find Big Bob. It's where you'll find our show every weekend around the table.
3 o'clock Sunday.
3 o'clock Sunday. 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday, not Pacific, Central, like I sometimes say. But yes, please come and join us there. And as Bob mentioned earlier, too, on our Discord, if you're not in our game, there's really no excuse for that. You should stick your hand up. Let us know you want to be a player. Let us know you want to be a coach. There is a role for you here in SimWorld, and it's a lot of fun. We hope you'll be joining us there. Hey, player of the game, Bob. What you got?
I mean,
I think there's one standout candidate.
I was going to say, I don't even know if there's a conversation that needs to be had, but it is clearly Nick Hugo. Oh,
you know what?
I already gave it.
No, it's Nick Hugo. It's Nick Hugo. Oh, and a chance here for Beast. Under 2 minutes, but they only trail by 5. And the stops they need. Ooh, I thought KPJ was going to put up a 3 there. Instead, 2 Beasts had a chance at a 3. Looking the shot clock down, and that's okay. They don't need to rush anything. Here, Redmond drains it. Time shot from Fareed Redmond. 1-point game, 1-possession game, and Redmond pressing up on defense as well by Rockville.
Run down too much.
Rockers are going to have to take a shot. Tough shot over Redmond, but he gets it to go. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be back with 1:04 to go in this fourth quarter. All right, and we are back with a 4-point lead for DMV, 104 to go in this one. Well, I don't want to take your attention away from this thrilling finish for too long, but want to remind everybody, we got a big vote coming up, don't we, Bob?
We do. I've voted. Have you?
Oh, I have not yet. No, I got to get my vote in.
You need to get on that. You don't want the owner to hear that you haven't voted yet. You should be the first ones voting.
Well, I'm thinking it over. I'm weighing up my options, but
hopefully he's not listening to this broadcast.
No, probably not. We have the Saturday Showcase. I'll take it, Bob.
No, we got the Saturday Showcase coming up. 10 best in the. Oh, hold on here. Whoa! Someone hit me in the head. Someone threw something at me. So sorry. Lost my headset. My headset there. That's Virginia for you. Showcase top 10 on the East Coast, top 10 on the West Coast.
We're gonna take a quick break here and come right back. Quick break. It's going to be Beast Ball. It was dribbled out of bounds. And Goodyear to the bench. Isaiah James going out there, and we are under the 1 minute mark.
Yeah, I heard Tom Brady was here watching the game, and I think the ball had a little bit of not enough air in it.
Well, he's got the bucket they needed, and now they need a stop on this possession. Rocco driving inside around his defender, can't get it to go, and that rebound pulled away by Kearney. Chance to tie or take the lead now for Beast. 30 seconds to go.
You gotta go for the tie. I know, you want to go for the win, but you gotta give yourself a chance.
Oh, that was a tough shot there from Cutler, and he couldn't get it down. I think Beast have to foul here in that. There's the first one. Will not send Rocco to the line. Going to have to foul once more to accomplish that. DMV and Coach Murray get a timeout, so there's a timeout here on the floor. I want to remind everybody once again that we've got one more game coming up tonight, but before we even get to that, we got the post up in between. So don't go anywhere. That's going to be our very own Yells and Jalen providing some entertainment mid-game, and then coming up later, Gulf Coast Lockdown hosting the North, the surprising North, coming off one of the most impressive or notable, at least, upsets of this Sim World season.
Can we?
Yes.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I hope everybody sticks around for that. But no, get your thought in.
I was just going to say, can we appreciate that in the NBA, how overpaid nobody is? Like, these nobodies are. I would love it. Grant Williams got traded. And who? And most people are going to be, who? Who's $56 million. He's getting a 4-year, $56 million contract.
I know Celtics fans who will literally argue that he cannot play.
I'm just like, it just blows my mind that some of these contracts, it's like teams are just like, oh, here we go. It's all right. Here you go.
Yeah. All right, 17.9 to go here. DMV has the ball. It's going to be a quick foul coming from Beast if they can't get a steal or force a turnover. Oh, look at that. They might have done it. They did. Oh, what a mistake. I don't know. The miscommunication was Rocco's fault there. Hudgens on the inbound, but Hudgens and Rocco just complete miscommunication there. And boy, does that change things. We're going to take a quick break, come right back, and a thrilling finish. 17.9 to go. An incredible break for Beasts of the East. They have a chance to tie up or take the lead here. Now 17.9 to go in the game. Bob, Coach Bob, call up your play if you're in that East lineup. All right, well, and the first big question is, do you just want a 2 or are you looking to win this here? I know what my answer is.
I want the most efficient shot. So it's you want the win. You always want the win. But at least if you...
this, though, philosophically, you're at home. I think you got the advantage. If you get some extra time on that clock, I feel like I'm going to win in that time. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. That's why I don't think there'll be a 3 here. I will say this, and you see this so often with young kids at the SimWorld level, SimWorld Hoops level, get the shot off while there's still 3 or 4 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
You can get a rebound, put that thing back in, but we're underway here. KPJ has it, trying to go to work on Smith, pulls it back out.
I need some movement out there. I need to see some movement. I need to...
Oh, that's a tough shot from Cutler, and he's way short. Need a foul, need a foul.
Boy, waited way too long.
Yeah, look at that. Sod Drayton is incensed, and I don't blame him. He can't be happy either with the shot he got out of that timeout, or the fact that at least 2 or 3 seconds came off the clock there, right after that rebound.
Yeah. I mean, that is not the shot. You have to find. There was no movement on that play other than Porter, and it blows my mind. They're just standing there with their feet like they're in cement, and you have to get Cutler moving around, get Fareed moving around. Specifically, I would prefer it to be Cutler. Have him move around, find him cutting to the basket so he has full momentum to finish a dunk off or something to give yourself a chance. It was a terrible shot choice. They didn't want it. They didn't want it.
Morocco's 2 free throws make that heave academic. DMV, a 4-point victory and an impressive come from behind on the road, trailing by double digits. Turn that around. Congrats to Coach Myron Murray. His squad is going to improve their record. They got a 16th win on the season. And East of the East, a fall at home in an Atlantic Division tussle that had a lot of drama. Well, hope you enjoyed that one. It was a lot of fun to call. Great game. I bet this next one's going to be good too. For the last time, I want to remind you, we got Gulf Coast and the North coming up. After this, after the post-up, with Yells and Jalen coming up next. So yeah, catch your breath. Get a cold drink if you need one, but don't go anywhere. Come right back at least, as the post-up is coming right up. Well, for my own good self, E. Lava, for my broadcasting partner in crime, Big Bob, and for everybody behind the scenes here at SimWorld, thank you for watching. Stay tuned. We are going to be back in just 1 minute.
Later, folks.
Summer Kid Season.
back, man. Post 4th of July weekend, super long weekend, great games going on. But we just had a great, it was a really good game just went down here. Jalen's in the building. You're here with us on the post-up. How you doing today, man?
Going on? Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, man. Hey, the streets been missing you. Streets been missing. Look.
That's what I heard.
Hey, Beasts of the East missed some opportunities late in this one. Run DMV came out, looked like they were about to get mashed to the ground, and then they started running. They started doing their Run DMV things. They started running. They started playing D, and they got back in this one, took control, and Beasts of the East came along late. Other than the obvious couple of turnovers there where this game really could have went sideways for Run DMV, what did you learn about the Run DMV squad in this game? And conversely, what did you learn about BCEs?
I think that from DMV, like what we saw tonight is what we've been seeing from them, as of late. The way their style of play isn't changing. They're 3-and-D as a team. They're looking for the three. They try to run. They want easy looks. Anybody can be the one on any given night, And Nick Hugo, he's gonna do what he does. He's gonna outwork everybody. He's gonna dunk, get putbacks, grab every rebound, and they're gonna rely on that. For Beasts of the East, I think they showed what they've been showing in the same kind of way. They're very inconsistent. Some nights they look like one of the best teams in the league, and other nights they look like, sometimes it feels like they're missing a piece. Down the stretch they had some good had a couple good opportunities with Levin Cutler. He took two, I think, pretty uncharacteristic shots. He took one from behind the goal, almost like a fadeaway layup, and then the other one he gets one-on-one with 5 seconds left on the clock, and he faces up and shoots a jumper instead of, getting to his back down game, maybe shooting a jump hook or something.
Yeah. I like, what I think about when I look at this Beast of the East team, in this matchup specifically, I think you're right about them being inconsistent. They have some highly skilled kids out there, Levin Cutler, I keep calling him Levin, I'm sorry, Fareed Redmond, and this KPJ kid, 8 points in 13 minutes. But I did like seeing Eric Busk back out there playing some solid defense. But I think for me this game says more about the Run DMV squad. And I think it's two-pronged for me, and it's Nick Hugo. The effort that he plays with, it's what we've seen over the last couple of weeks specifically, is that Run DMV, or Nick Hugo, seems to be the engine for Run DMV, and Run DMV's motor seems to just wear teams down at some point. You just see it fall apart for the other team as the game goes on. But the other part I'd say about that, we all see Nick Hugo, the highlights. We see all the energy. He stands out on the team, but Brandon Smith, timely plays. Ty Rocco, extremely timely buckets that he was getting. I think he had 12 points, 2 or 3 from deep. John Hudgens steps on any night, and I know you said everyone, but how about Keith Singleton? 10 minutes, 2 points, no complaints. I think he got 2 shot attempts up, 3 assists, and 3 steals. That almost changed the course of the game for them. It's just that effort. You know what I mean? Me and you talk about this outside of the show sometime. Effort, man. Effort wins games.
Yeah, and it starts with Nick Hugo. Like you see at the beginning of the game. And I think the last time we saw them out, they had a slow start. But once he gets going, the entire team gets going.
Yeah. Crazy game here. It really could have went any way down the stretch there. I think that was a really exciting finish. But I think we've seen some other exciting finishes here. We got I think you have some news for us. What other games have wrapped up so far tonight?
Okay, the Reigning Trays, they went out to North Carolina to see Queen City, and they picked up a win today, 76-68. Yeah. Nick Beal and Jafet Towns, they led the way. Both had 23 apiece.
Nick Beal back in the building. Yeah, Nick.
Yeah.
It's always the Jafet Towns show, but people forget Nick Beal was dropping anywhere between 17 and 22 a night earlier this season, so that's really interesting to see him back in the fold like that.
And we're seeing less of Kevon Jackson, only 8 points. But Nick Beal, 23.6 assists. Shot 10 for 13 from the floor. I mean, you can't ask for much more than that.
That's efficient. All right. Well, look, we got a lot going on tonight. It's welcome back night, right? So we got that one wrapped up. I think we have another big game coming up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask you your three in the key, big sir. We got Gulf Coast Lockdown hosting the North. Both of these teams struggling mightily, to say the absolute least. Gulf Coast did win their last game out, and I honestly looking a lot better. But people expected this team to be a lot better this season, standing at 10-15, fourth in the Savannah division. There's only 5 teams in the division, and the North with the third worst record in the league. In all of SimWorld Hoops, they won their last game too. So both of these guys are really trying to lament their season and get some forward momentum heading into next season. For this matchup, man, what are your 3 in the key that you're looking for?
Okay, for Gulf Coast, I'm gonna go with Suno Chopper. He's been ultra aggressive lately, and he's gonna have to keep his foot on the gas. Especially if this team thinks that they have a chance of making the race to 1. I think he's going to have to be the one to lead the way. They've gotten away from De'Aaron Cruz quite a bit as of late, and I think it's actually helped them a little bit. As far as the North, I think we need to see. They're going to need everybody, all hands on deck today. But specifically, Alex Rodriguez and Donovan Bird-Culver, they take the majority of the shots for the team. They're the 2 leading scorers, but they have to be efficient tonight and against this Gulf Coast defense, who they'll give up some easy looks from time to time. And third key to the game, I'm gonna go with. He slowed down a little bit, but I think this will be a good game for him to get back going. Akeem Young, he made a big splash when he first came in. He's still, the number 2 offensive rebounder in the league, but he's been relatively quiet as of late, and I think tonight would be a good game for him to get going.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a very good one. I think we'll get some fireworks here. I think both of these teams have something to prove. The North, despite them struggling here recently and not having such a great record, they've had some really exciting moments, and I like how tough they've played. So everyone hang on. I think we got a good one coming up here pretty soon. But look, before we get out of here, we got to talk a little craziness. So, 4th of July just passed, right?
What you got for me?
I'm just going to ask a simple question. I feel like you're just so low-key, man. Everyone knows you're just so cool and laid back. But 4th of July stories, man. What's your craziest 4th of July story you can imagine? Maybe it happened around you. Maybe it happened to you. Maybe one of your friends was telling it at the barbecue. Maybe one of your friends was lying. We know the good lies come out when everybody gets together too. But what's your craziest 4th of July story?
I usually don't do too much for the 4th of July. This year we traveled, and it was good to just. I'm on the West Coast now, so it was good to just experience a little different type of celebration. Usually it's just the barbecue and maybe watch some other people pop some fireworks, but I spent some time with some family, and we actually were the ones letting off the fireworks. I don't have nothing crazy, but it was just this is probably one of my favorite 4th of July this past one yesterday.
Yeah. Pretty mild man. What I tell you, this man, he's so mild man. He's a good guy, man. He's just
that's not the. I don't think that's the crazy. That's the crazy time. I mean, maybe you asked because you probably got something that happened.
No, look,
you probably got something up the top.
This may be the most boring post up ever, man. I'm low key too on 4th of July. 4th of July is my 3rd favorite holiday. I would put it at 4th just for numbers' sake, but it truly is 3rd. St. Patrick's Day and Halloween are my favorite, but 4th of July.
I hear about you in St. Patty's.
Yeah, buddy. But 4th of July, I love celebrating the country we live in. It's a great place. Love the fireworks. I love the patriotism we're able to put on display. I rocked my flag colored moccasins with had my flag colored rag wrapped around me. Yeah, I go all out, man. I get festive. So nothing too much for me. Laid back. Ate some food. I think one of the funniest parts, one of the enjoyable parts about 4th of July is figuring out who knows how to barbecue and who doesn't, and then figuring out who's actually going to say something about it and who's not. I think that's the really fun part of 4th of July, because everybody likes to play it cool. You may see everybody asking where the sauce is. That's a good indicator.
Everybody the grill master till it's time to get on the grill.
Right. But yeah, I think I may have said it one time before. You know where I stand if I'm asking for the sauce. If I need sauce, you ain't do your job. But
yeah.
Hey, look, man, we got a big one coming up here. I'm just gonna ask who you got in this game, Gulf Coast or the North?
I'm gonna take Gulf Coast. I think the magnitude of the game for them is a lot bigger. They need it. They're a game and a half out of the race to 1 as of right now. And the North, actually I'm gonna say this: the North has done a good job of playing spoiler as of late. They've come to play as of recently, but I just think Gulf Coast, they're gonna bring that grit tonight. I think Akeem Young's gonna get it done. Suno Chopper's gonna get it done, and they'll be looking at a victory.
Nobody shows the North much love. I never say who I think I'm going to win, but I am rooting for you, North. Hope you guys pull it out. Gulf Coast, I'm rooting for you too. But yeah, the North, I got a little feather in my back pocket, man. I'm rooting for you guys up there. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. I have to do it every time. Anyhow, it's been the Post Up, Jalen. I appreciate you being on. Look forward to you being on a little more often. Hey, man, I know you hologrammed yourself in here from the West Coast. Have some wine. Stay safe. And then have some more wine, man.
All right,
guys. Stay tuned. The Gulf Coast Lockdown hosting the North coming up next.
AP, I'm a youngin' at the South and I get that dope. Every time I hit the club, I'ma get that hoe. You can see me by the bar, blowing on a Philly guard, talking to a pretty star, trying to get it to my car, to my house. And maybe, baby, later I can put it in your mouth. Yeah, I already know we get dirty in the South. And money ain't a problem, mama, I can break a vote. This ain't all shit talk, shit, I rock it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 2 of tonight's SimWorld doubleheader. We got the Gulf Coast Lockdown facing the North here at the Gulf Arena, and I'm joined in the booth by the one, the only, the Rangoon Master, Siege. How are we doing?
Mood. It's exciting to be here today. Love being down here in the dirty South. Got a big game tonight, as we know. Gulf Coast, about 1.5 games back from the playoffs this year, the race to 1. And on the other hand, you got the North, who is very much so out of it. But we know that the North has a history of playing spoiler. So we'll see. They got Alex Rodriguez coming out here. He's always a guy who's liable to go for 20-30. So we'll see what kind of Gulf Coast we get tonight. Sometimes we get a good Gulf Coast. They get help. And sometimes we get a Gulf Coast just falls apart. So I'm assuming tonight, with everything on the line, they're going to be at their best. But like I said, the North loves to play spoilers, so we should have a good one on our hands.
Absolutely, and here we go as the tip-off goes right to Gulf Coast, and they get going. This is going to be an interesting one. As the North, as you said, they're great spoilers. Gulf Coast vying for that playoff position for the race to 1. It's going to be a tough one, I think. It's not going to be a blowout or anything. I think it's going to be within 5. That's a quick fade. Easy bucket there by Suno Chapa to open things up.
And Suno Choppa's the kind of guy that when he's playing well, they have a better tendency of winning whenever he kind of plays well and goes off a little bit. So I'm looking for him to have a big game tonight.
Indeed it does. It also starts at the top. The main guy playing well, playing focused. It affects the entire tree down, as you know. And Choppa going in, and man, 2 straight buckets to start.
And aggressive, and that's another thing about him is, you know, the quote-unquote star of this team, De'Aaron Cruz. When Suno Choppa's on, it takes a lot of pressure off of De'Aaron Cruz. Doesn't, you know, make him feel like he's got to do everything, force him into some shots. He can kind of play it like a normal pace and not feel so much pressure to put the team on his back. So, again, like you said, when Suno Choppa's playing well, it trickles down to everybody.
Absolutely, and Suno Choppa has really stepped it up ever since the spill in the media a few weeks ago. He seems to have turned it up. Quick miss there by Deontay Joyce, and the North have yet to score. Here's Rodriguez right on cue.
Ooh.
And that's the key right there.
On the other end, you got Deontay Joyce, 6'10". You know who was guarding him? 5'10" Enzo Wolf. I don't know why he's fading away on that. He should have gone towards the basket, but I digress. Not going to go into my rant right now.
Absolutely, as Choppa looked like he was going to do something special there, but just passes it off. Steal by Jalen Tucker. He's bringing it down.
Jalen Tucker's he's an interesting guy to have at the 5. Very big, very thick, but he is a 6'8" center, and he does have a tendency to be able to make some passes, things like that, do a little bit more than your typical center can. So I think he's going to play a big game, in if the North can play spoiler tonight as well. So we'll just have to see.
I think this North team is interesting. Obviously, the loss of Tyson Simpson in the offseason, basically casting them into what we call just a menial season. I'll call it that. But they still got A-Rod. They still got Bird Culver. Marcus Leifat seemed to have taken a step back this season compared to last. Just where do you see the North next year?
Well, they've got some young guys. They've got guys who are going to be on the team. And to be honest, there were some reports coming out that Marcus Leifat kind of took a step back, not just on the court, but he kind of took a step back in the locker room as well. Kind of was a little bit done. There were reports of him saying and quoting that he was just excited to get out of here and go to college. And the frustrations, obviously, of being on a team that's not having much success can be tough for a talented player, but I think that's what we're seeing. I think we're going to see a new North team next year, so that'll be exciting.
And that'll be quite interesting, Siege, as we get our first timeout here called by Gulf Coast Lockdown, and we will be back after a quick commercial break.
Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
And here we are back after the quick timeout. Both the North and Gulf sitting at 4 points. Nothing really crazy has happened yet, but as you know, Siege, it can take off in a hurry.
Absolutely, and we're seeing two guys who we had our eyes on tonight, both being very aggressive. Been aggressive so far. I believe they both have all 4 of their team points. I think right now, I don't necessarily think we're seeing a defensive battle. I think we're seeing both teams kind of trying to set into their offense. So I think this one could light up as we go, or it's going to be a low score because, you know, neither team can really get it going. Either way, it looks like it's going to be a tight one.
Indeed, could be either or, as both teams seem to be playing good defense, trying to feel each other out. Chop, a quick move on the perimeter. No good rebound. Reverse slam from Akeem Young, and Akeem Young is one of my favorite bigs in SWH, Siege.
Oh, he's exciting to watch. He's just, he's like a firework. He can go off at any moment to not go off, but go off, have a big slam, big rebound, anything like that. I'm wondering how Enzo Wolf, the 5'10" point guard, keeps finding himself in the paint against these bigs. That's got to be something they got to pay a little more attention to. Right now, it looks like he's guarding Akeem Young.
Indeed, that is quite interesting strategy. He is quite obviously a lot smaller than everyone else on the floor. He looks like a little kid there next to, I believe that's Deontay Joyce. Quick shot, Culver, no good. And the offense is still slow. Gold Coast brings it down. Joyce try to go all the way. Pseudo chop on the wing, driving. Nothing much happening here in terms of offense, just a lot of movement. Joyce has a mismatch. Ooh.
Yeah, but he's being weak with it. I know A-Rod's a star or whatever, but he's got he's highly touted, but he's 6'4".
I was just shocked to see him make him pick up his dribble.
Yeah, just put your back on him, go down into the post. I don't know what's going on.
It's just, I don't know what happened there. It's Enzo Wolf, there he goes. Enzo Wolf in the post, puts it up and in.
Now, what I will say about Enzo Wolf is he is a feisty guy. He's one of those hard over height kind of guys. That's probably why he keeps finding himself in the post. He's not one to shy away from a battle, regardless of how big his opponent is. So,
right, and to be in a league as prestigious as this, nice move. Quick Euro step there by Deontay Joyce. Man, that was nice. But to be in a league like this, and at the size that Enzo Wolf is at, you just have to have a lot of game. And you got rejection. Akeem Young, sorry, interjected by speech, but man, what a walk, send all the way to half court.
You gotta have a lot of game and you gotta have a lot of heart. That goes for basketball in general. If you want to be someone who's vertically challenged and play basketball, like you gotta kind of have that heart, that hustle, no matter who you're going up against.
Right, and vertically challenged, that would perfectly describe my game. I was never tall enough to play, but I could make that sweet string music, no doubt. Ooh, Deontay Joyce again, and he seems to be taking his stake here in this game a little bit.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Enzo Wolf on him again. What did he do? He went towards the basket, and it worked. Take notes, Deontay Joyce.
Indeed, if you're Coach Hyman,
what works.
If you're Coach Hyman, then you've got to be hunting Enzo Wolf on these PNRs. There's no way you're not.
Absolutely. It's one of those unfortunate things. Enzo Wolf is a great player. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of hustle, but as an opponent, you can't obviously put any handicaps on your team. If there's a 5'10" guy out there, you're going to want to get him switched into the post and post him up. I mean, that's just how the game goes. It's a cold game. Exactly.
It's like Isaiah Thomas in the NBA, you know.
Ooh!
And one there by Chris Falk out of New Orleans. He's home. Put that one in real easy.
He's feeling comfortable in his hometown tonight. Said, let's Dirty South, let's get these Northerners out of here, send them back to the cold. We'll send them off with a nice New Orleans homegrown maple syrup. I don't know if they make any of that, but if they do, they're going to send them home with it.
Enters Falk at the line. A 75% free throw shooter on the season. arena deathly quiet. And he puts it.
This home court that Gulf Coast has got is certainly unlike any other. Just the building itself is certainly unlike any other atmosphere we have in SimWorld. You know, we've got other teams that have their crowds kind of standing around the sideline like this in kind of a Rucker Park style atmosphere, but we don't have anyone who's got a building quite like this one.
Yeah, but you know, it's got some charm. You know, it's just it's just a fixer upper. Edison Patches weaves through the defense and puts it in. But
I'm not dogging this building at all. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's got character. It's got something different to it. It's got something that when you got away teams coming in there, they're a little bit scared to step on the court, and that's okay. That's good. That's why it's called home court advantage. Now, what I want is for Gulf Coast to adopt the identity of the building and kind of play that nasty, like gritty, like basketball. That's what I want to see Gulf Coast do. You know, if that's going to be your home court, play like it.
I would love to see that as well. As you saw, KJ Allen knock down that shot on the last possession. Shot over Patches there, no good. And Gulf Coast has quietly built a 7-point lead over the North here with waning seconds of the first quarter. And here's Patches behind the back move. Man, Tucker inside just sealing him off.
Ooh.
And there's a bucket inside from Edward Hamilton out of El Paso.
Good old Texan.
Good old Texas. Oh, yeah.
Everything's bigger.
Everything.
Including the love for James Harden. Let's get him back to ASAP.
ASAP.
Those young guys need some serious James Harden mentoring right now.
And there we are. That's the end of the first as Gulf Coast takes a 7-point lead, 19-12. We'll be right back at the second quarter action here. SimWorld TV. Here we are back in the second quarter, taking a great extended look at that turned over recycle bin. The Gulf Coast take a 7-point lead over the North Siege. What did you see in that first quarter?
I saw aggressive play from Gulf Coast. I liked what I saw defensively and offensively. They really turned up the heat towards the end of the first quarter. From the North, I'm not really seeing a lot of they know where to go, which is a common theme with them. It's why they haven't really found the success they had. They really don't have any kind of identity. We talk a lot about teams that need to find their identity, but the North just doesn't really have one. It's been a tough season, and I mean, they're not out of this game. This game is very much so in play. They just got to find something that's going to work for them this game.
It's definitely going to be a tough one for them to get as Gulf Coast has come in just lasered in. Benson Patches with a quick steal there. Running down the floor behind the back.
Beventon Patches might have the best name in the league.
Absolutely. He's second to none. Beventon Patches? Come on.
I mean, it's silly, it's light, it's airy. You gotta love it.
There's, I'm gonna try and say his name. Radovicius.
Radovicius.
A quick timeout by the North here. And really not a lot going on for the North, as you said there. Just kind of just running around, just letting whatever go. A-Rod hasn't really taken control. Huh. And if you want to catch more of the SimWorld action, we have multiple social media outlets: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all at SimWorld 4K respectively. We're looking to up our media game. Quite exciting.
Always looking to up media output. You gotta love the media.
Well, I think you can love and hate the media in some instances.
And that's what makes it so exciting.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we see with the NBA media now, it's starting to heat up here in free agency. The stories coming out these past few days have been a little crazy.
Yeah, just in the past hour, actually, we saw the Sixers sign Bol Bol and Mo Bamba. They're taking all of the lanky backup centers they can get right now.
Oh, wow, have they? I actually did not see those signings at all. Bol Bol on the Sixers. That's a pretty intriguing prospect there.
I don't hate it. I mean, Bol Bol is a versatile player. I think he showed flashes of it in Orlando last year that he can play. Someone just got to get him to do it consistently. You know what I mean? That's really been the big issue with him.
Absolutely. And plus his, I believe his injury, his medical history was a huge thing in the draft and why he fell. Look, Orlando was the first team to really give him extended minutes, and he looked like a god out there when he played. So I'm really interested to see how he does in his Sixers uniform.
I'm hoping he thrives. I'm also rooting for Bol Bol.
Another fade. Here, and they're just getting boards on the inside again. Edward Hamilton.
And we know that the North is a little bit, as a team, kind of vertically challenged. I mean, biggest guy is 6'8", Jalen Tucker, but he is 256 pounds. He's tough down low. It's just kind of once you get past him, there's not a lot of tough size on this roster. And props to Coach Hyman and Gulf Coast for kind of seeing that and playing tough in the paint and taking advantage of that in a game that they absolutely need to win.
Yep, but the North are looking like Golden State out there with no one under 6'8" on the roster. I'm very concerned as to what Golden State's going to do with their big situation. They've signed 2 guys in free agency so far, and both of them under 6'7".
They'll be fine. They'll figure it out. Any center can look like a great center when you're just grabbing boards for Steph and Clay.
True. Quick three here. Oh! Goes down off the catch. That's Cole Morris out of Sherbrooke, Quebec.
Some more of that would be nice.
And quick timeout here by Gulf Coast. And Cole Morris actually a 54% three-point shooter. He leads the team in percentage. I'm not sure of the sample size, but that's an eye-popper for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Cole Morris he's also a nice piece that you got to think if he's around next year, he could maybe find himself a bigger role, kind of help out a little bit. He's one of the older guys at 17, so whether he'll be around or not is yet to be seen. But he's a guy who's got a lot of talent, as most of the guys here in SimWorld do. It would just be nice to kind of see him do that. I mean, he came off the screen nice there. He was ready to shoot, catch, shoot. I mean, that's kind of what you want to see from those more role player type of guys.
Absolutely. 6'4" Morris putting up just 4 points a game. Putting that quick one in. I'm really intrigued to see how they play the rest of this game out, because change of strategy is definitely in the cards here at North of them. Ooh! Hakeem Young! Quick alley slam. Man, I love that guy. I love him.
He's fun to watch play. I'd love to see him kind of develop a consistent post game, hone his skills kind of thing, but I mean, he's got all the tools to be a great big.
Ooh, quick shot there by Jalen Tucker, unable to hit. Just rolls around. Correction, I believe that's Maya J. Kiefer who put that one up. 12 on the clock. We got Darren Cruz up top inside to Suno Chapa.
And Darren Cruz has been quiet today.
And Suno Chapa is just looking crazy down there in the post.
He's got a nice little post game for a guard wing type player. I know they have him playing point guard right now, but he's got a great post game for his size.
Indeed he does. He's really picked it up in all areas. Quick three there, off iron. Kiefer on the inside.
Good
nice board and
team.
bucket over Deontay Joyce.
Hakeem Young running the point.
Yeah, Kiefer at 6'7", Joyce 6'10". That was a pretty tough finish. Chapa again, no good. 3:28 left here in the second. Okay, A-Rod up top. Enzo Wolf on the left wing. As you see from the north, just not a lot of movement on offense here. Ooh!
There it is.
What a
while.
move there. Man, Bradley Antone just crosses his defender and blows the easy layup. Everyone was just staring.
Yeah, he kind of lagged a little bit once he got his own board. He was like, what do I do with this? But he went back up. He got the bucket.
Man, Chapa, he is on one tonight.
Yeah, Chapa's here, but De'Aaron Cruz is not. We have seen little to nothing from De'Aaron Cruz so far tonight.
I think Cruz just needs the ball. I haven't seen him shoot enough. That's like, ooh, another three. And that one's by DBC, Donovan Bird-Culver.
And part of that could be a defensive scheme from the north, kind of focusing in on De'Aaron Cruz, and part of it could be, games going well. He's got other teammates that are playing really well, and that's kind of a thing you want in a leader. Like if your team's playing well, you kind of want to maybe be a little bit more passive, let them do their thing, and just play defense and kind of be a facilitator.
Indeed, has another three from DBC. Oh man, dude, we might as well call him DB3 at this point. Goodness, 2 straight.
Love that.
DB3. Another one. Nope.
There's Chapa.
And they just can't match it. There's De'Aaron Cruz.
That's great day.
Oh. Yeah, it'll go right back the other way. Indeed.
I like the look. They just couldn't connect on it.
Bad play there from the north. Passing it out of bounds. Probably hit a crowd member,
Nothing they're not used to down here.
I wonder how much admission it is.
That's a good question. I'd like to find that out.
As Suno Chapa once again fade on the baseline. He's trying to single-handedly take over this ball game. And for the most part, he's been pretty successful.
Yeah, he's playing a great game, aggressive. We talked about it at the top that he's someone that when he goes off, this team does tend to play better when he's playing well. So we're seeing that tonight. They've been able to kind of control this game from the beginning up until now, and hey, he might be the key for them in every game, just in the season in general.
Oh, poster slam by Roy Mason, and he's lying there. Oh goodness!
Is that allowed?
Micah Kiefer took a quick nap under the basket after the slam by Mason. Goodness.
Is that allowed?
It shouldn't be.
I don't think that's allowed.
Good God, someone get the stretcher. Call the ambulance. Call the fire department. Call anybody.
Somebody help. Get that man some milk.
Somebody get him some milk. And coming up quick again is Gulf Coast. Here's Mason licking his chops. Putting it up again over Kiefer. Man, that's 2 straight plays. Strong ones from Roy Mason.
And he's yelling weight room at Kiefer out there on the floor. He's talking.
Man, he is not afraid of the smoke. At all.
Not at all.
Here's A-Rod putting on some quick theatrics, few and 1 street ball moves. And Mason with the bully ball defense, call for the foul. And here's Rodriguez at the line, been the standout player for the North this year, sitting at 14 points. Also a 78% three-point shooter. First goes, and the first just takes iron. And some quick subs here for the North. I'll put 2 players out.
Interesting. They went to a lineup, I guess, just for this last defensive possession.
I gotta say, I'm a huge fan of Roy Mason at the SF. That guy is just, he's such a big body. He can abuse anybody down low if he wants.
Ooh, great move.
Man, just Hakeem Young here. I think the wing and big depth on this Gulf Coast team is just crazy.
Very. They have a lot of guys who can get it done in those positions.
And after the half-court heave, we've hit the half. Siege. There wasn't very much going on there, but what did you see?
I mean, I saw Gulf Coast taking this game personally. They know that this is a game they have to win. Saw them not really shoot too many threes. They were going inside. They were pounding it inside. We saw Roy Mason had 2 big, strong plays inside in a row. We saw Suno Chapa has been aggressive all game, going inside, doing work in the post, being aggressive, going to the basket. I think what we're seeing is what we said we wanted to see. We wanted to see Gulf Coast kind of take the identity of this building, kind of grimy and aggressive and all of those things, and they're doing it tonight. They know they have to win this game. They're taking advantage of the North not having as much size as they do necessarily, and it's working for them. And on the other side, the North has just they need to find something that's going to work for them consistently. They're not totally out of this game yet, so I'm excited to see what kind of adjustments they can come up with going into the second half.
Absolutely, and we'll see just that. Second half action coming up next. And we are back. Second half action here on SimWorld TV. Gulf Coast lockdown just dominating that first half against the North here.
Yeah, they absolutely just kind of controlled the whole game so far. And there's A-Rod, who had a really aggressive beginning of the first quarter, was scoring, going to the basket, things like that, and then kind of faded. And that's when the North kind of started to lose a grip on this game. So I'm hoping that Coach gave him a little talk at halftime and said, we need you out there. We need you to be a little more aggressive. Gave him the green light maybe, and hopefully he'll show back up because they're going to need him.
Indeed, as Rodriguez has to be that guy. Don't have many options. Wow.
Nice no-look
play
pass.
There. Yeah. Great pass, even better defense there from Kiefer on the inside. DPC, that's just a tough one to take.
It's just not the shot you want when you're trying to get back into a game. You got time. There's still 18 seconds left on the shot clock there. You just got to play smarter basketball there.
Especially after a defensive possession. Ooh.
There he is. There's a guy.
Quick score from Akeem Young. Once again, the battle of the boards.
Battle of the boards.
Here's A-Rod trying to make something happen. Just going at it.
Walking his man down.
He's trying to lull him to sleep, and he effectively does as he draws Roy Mason into a foul. Pretty interesting play there from Alex Rodriguez. Not sure that was going to work.
If it gets you through the line, here's a chance at 2 free points here.
Rodriguez. He's one of the top guys of this North team. The top guy.
I love A-Rod's game just as a scorer. I think he's got a lot of talent. I think if this North team can kind of take a step in the right direction next year, he's going to be the leader. He's going to be the go-to guy. And if the team is flowing a little bit better, I think we're going to see his name talked about a little bit more at the top of the scoring charts and things like that.
Indeed, and he'll be on his way out soon enough. There's rumblings he'll be signing with Vanderbilt, or even Illinois State after his tenure here at SWH. Quick foul here on the other end.
He'll be a great college scorer.
Indeed, he will. I think he'll be awesome at the college level.
Get him in a nice system, get some good plays drawn up for him. He can put the ball in the bucket. That I know for sure.
Just put a good team behind this man and see what happens.
I think he could elevate his game for sure. And another guy who I would love to see him elevate his game just in general, this guy at the line right now, Akeem Young. He knocks down the first one. I think he's got all the physical tools. He's got the motor. I think he's just got to kind of put it all together. I mean, he already plays a great game. He's already a really valuable player to have, but I think his potential is as high as he wants it to be.
Indeed, as he knocks down that second free throw. Akeem Young, also a 75% three-point shooter. Free throw shooter. That's my bad. Wow. The 75% big man would be quite a commodity as he's a wolf on the dot.
You would love to see that.
But I would love to see that.
75% free throw shooting big, especially one who kind of plays like he does, is also a great asset because, you see him out down inside, getting offensive boards, things like that. There's going to be a lot of chances for fouls. And when you know that a guy like that can shoot pretty decent from the free throw line, you can't really play that game where you just, don't let him get the easy layup. You got to kind of think about that, try and play better defense, but it's hard to just straight up defend Akeem Young. He's big, he's strong, he's athletic.
Right, yeah, we know like the hack Shaq trend. Like when Shaq was in his prime, teams would just go out and just straight up just foul the hell out of him. Quick dunk by Akeem Young, sorry.
The double pump.
He's looking pretty good out there. He's looking real comfy out there also.
Absolutely. When him and Suno Choppa are on, this team looks like a whole different team.
And there's A-Rod showing another level of comfy with that quick float off the right hand. So pretty.
And he's keeping him in it right now. 13 points is a double-digit deficit, but it's not out of hand yet. There's still tons of ball to be played. They got to get some stops, and they got to get back around to it. But they're still in it. They're absolutely still in it. They're within striking distance.
And as long as Choppa keeps missing like that, they definitely have a chance. Wolf outside trying to set the offense up. A-Rod playing with his food. No good. Those are the ones that usually go in there, Siege.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we know that he can make those shots. You like to see him be aggressive and take them. I have no problem with that shot there.
A nice fade by Aaron Cruz. Seems to be waking up a little bit from his slumber.
He's getting ignited a little bit. He doesn't want to see this North team have any chance of coming back, so he's going to start adding his contributions to the team now.
Little as A-Rod, another float. Also looked pretty good, just off back iron. Suno chop that breaks free from the D. Slams it down again. Ooh,
Easy
man.
lane to the basket.
Too easy. Way too easy.
Oh,
Jalen
and
Tucker,
then
no good there. Man.
the North
is just not
losing
looking
it.
good. Not looking good.
We know they like to play spoiler sometimes, but right now it looks like Gulf Coast is a little too locked in to let that happen. They came out, they knew what is at stake today, and they're showing it.
And Gulf Coast is just knocking down shots. They're not stopping. There's a quick timeout from the North here. And the lead's grown to 19. See, 19. Gulf Coast just keeps hitting shots. The North, with the continual airing possessions, just not looking good. With that, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back here. The 3:41 left here in the third quarter of the Summerworld action. Yeah, we got some good ones tomorrow, Siege. The first one, a heavy hitter. We got the Southeast Select facing the Originators in Graceland. That one is going to be a blockbuster.
And the two #1 seeds heading into the race to one as of right now. Two teams that have got a lot going on for them. I'm a big fan of Southeast, and I love watching the Originators play. That should be an absolutely phenomenal game we should see from them. You got the always consistent defense from Southeast, and you got the big man down low in Victorious Ilgauskas, along with the star matchup between Trey Turner and DJ Wagner. I mean, I'm excited just thinking about that game tomorrow.
Man, I cannot wait to watch that. That one's going to be so good. Probably game of the year in my opinion. It just depends on how it goes.
It certainly has the potential to be game of the year. I agree.
And then after that, we got the Indy Stripes. Yikes! Facing the Bay Area Breakers on a home. And given what's happened with the Stripes in the media lately, I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen in that one.
Well, I'll be interested to see what Coach Storm kind of does following all of that, what kind of adjustments he makes. He did get called out by one of his players. However, the media wanted to perceive the actions of said player, Barkley James. The thing is, Coach Storm did get called out. So, there's no way to we can have reports, but we have no idea what's really going on in that locker room other than the reports and when it got taken public. So it will be interesting to see how Coach Storm manages their first game after that whole fiasco.
Well, I'll tell you this, Siege. There's a rumor going around that Coach Storm has benched Barkley James for the rest of the season. I'm not entirely sure if it's true, but given what Barkley did in the eye of the press, that would not surprise me. At
the end of the day, it's got to come as a learning experience for him. How far he wants to take it is going to be up to him. If he decides he wants to leave the team, that's going to be his decision. If he decides that he wants to learn from his mistake, stay with the team, stay with it. If there is a benching, take the benching with some humility. Play his game when he gets on the floor, things like that. He is still a very talented player. So he's an asset whether he's in the media or not. So it'll be just kind of interesting, one, to see how Coach Storm plays it, and two, how Barkley James decides to handle it, because at the end of the day, it is up to him how he reacts to everything.
And the Stripes are just two games out of the race to 1. They can still make a run. They definitely can. It's just entirely reliant if they can pull together. This makes something of the rest of their season.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the whole thing about something like this, is it was fiery. You can only imagine how fiery it was in the locker room, because it was fiery in the public eye. And there's two ways it can go. That can either debilitate the team, depending on how Coach Storm and Barkley and the rest of the team handles it, or this can be kind of a coming together moment. That is something that's going to take a lot of compromise from everyone involved, something that's going to take a lot of humility and maturity from everyone involved, but that is not out of the question that this is kind of that spark moment that they just needed to have it out, air everything out. It's been a frustrating season for Indy Stripes. They have a lot of talent, and they've shown it at times, so it certainly will be something everyone will have their eye on to how it plays out.
And the Indy Stripes are just going to have to let Benari cook, as well as Reza Red. They just need to give Reza Red the ball and get out of the way down there. I have no clue as to what their strategies are, but if I were the coach, I'd be spamming Red down there.
Yeah, I gave my whole gospel on Reza Red quite a few times. It's tough because it's a two-way thing for sure. On the one hand, Reza Red wasn't always taking advantage of when he got the ball, and he wasn't always looking like a guy that you wanted to feed the ball to. But then on the other hand, there were times when he should have been getting it more. So it's a little bit on both sides. If you want to kind of blame the coaching and say, hey, we should get him the ball more, that is one side. But then there's also the side that when he got the ball, he didn't always make the most of those situations, because if coach is not going to give you the ball all the time, you have to make the most of the situations when you get it. And at times he didn't. So but I do think that's going to be big for them if they are going to make a run and end up in the race to 1 is play of Reza Red. The culmination of all the drama that's been going on for them. Is it going to be drama, or is it something they're going to get past? All of those things are going to play in, but they are certainly a team that if they were to sneak into the race to 1 and get hot at the right time, they could be dangerous for a lot of teams.
Oh yeah, that's very true. And in this next game, it's going to be a Reza Red and Trey Hyman matchup. He's going to have to play some amazing defense on Trey, because Trey always finds a way. I mean, that's known.
But I mean, that's a tough matchup for anybody. Reza Red, what he's going to have to do, and this is something that I think if he'd been doing all season, we wouldn't have these talks about him. He's just going to have to play physical. He's going to have to play big, not some plays every game. Defensively, offensively, he's going to have to be tough. He's going to have to be big, because Trey Hyman doesn't take plays off.
And that's the third quarter, capped off by the KJ Allen Heat. And we have an 11-point lead for the Gulf Coast Lockdown as we head here into the fourth. And we'll see you all in a few moments.
To make it 2-possession game, and they will.
Definitely gonna have to look elsewhere. Oh!
And here we are in the fourth quarter of this game. Gulf Coast Lockdown up 11 points here on the north. Not very much going on.
Well, and they were down 21 in the quarter. They seem to have turned something on a little bit. We'll just have to see if they can kind of continue that. We've seen them make a couple of little strikes, but they're going to have to keep it consistent, and that's something they've struggled all game, is just keeping consistent, finding something that's going to work for them. So it'll be interesting to see how they play this fourth quarter.
I'm just keeping my hopes stifled because, they're to the north.
They are the North, but like we said at the top of the broadcast, they like to play spoilers, so it's not too late for them to do so. And Muda, I just saw news broke while we were in break. Tyshawn Ism of the Yacht Club just committed to Florida Gulf Coast.
Oh, staying home. Nice.
Staying home. I think he's a really great player, talented player. I think that Yacht Club team has a lot of players that they're one of the deeper teams in the league. They haven't been able to figure it out, but there's so much talent on that team. And Tyshawn Ism is one of those guys that I feel like if put in a little bit more of a spotlight role, could truly transform into a star. So I think that's got to have something to do with the decision to maybe go to a slightly smaller school, a school that maybe isn't going to have as many huge recruits coming in. I mean, you never know. He could start a domino effect. We could see them load up, but I think that's got to be kind of one of the thoughts behind it. If he can go there and be a star, that's going to help his draft stock moving on to the next level after that.
Yes, that's great. That is great news to hear. Seems very interesting too. And TYC is just a team of lost potential, really. They have an amazing roster, but just never put it together. Quick, rebound, and one for Akeem Young. Tough on the boards there. In the North there, you saw them hit a tough three. I believe that was Marcus Lay-Fat. Just trying to make a run. But Gulf Coast is just playing it tough, playing close to their cards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the North is making a little bit of a run at it. They did at the end of that third, and to start this quarter, they're still looking like they're trying to make that run, but Gulf Coast is trying to go ahead and throw them in one of those recycling bins over there. Just finish this one out.
I think like probably my favorite thing about this place is the fact that banner has been twisted since the start of the season.
Nobody's gotten up there to fix it.
And those stools, you see those stools over there, still knocked over. Oh,
it's the atmosphere. It's the atmosphere. It's true home court advantage. You're a little bit scared when you step into this place as an opposing team.
Those stools are Gulf Coast heirlooms. They can never be moved. A-Rod. Tough three-pointer to cut the lead to 10. And I think we may just have a game here, as long as the North keep it up.
We absolutely can. The North has to put together consecutive stops to go with these buckets, so we talk about that a lot towards the end of the game. End of different games when teams are trying to make comebacks. You can't make a comeback without consecutive stops, and that's something that they need to figure out how to do right now. Oh, there's one.
Very tough shot there by Roy Mason. You see there the Gulf Coast offense is pretty stagnant. Nobody really moving. Rodriguez. That's his range. That's his shot. Just didn't go in.
They can't all fall sometimes, but that just means you got to get another stop here on defense. You're going to need one anyways, but now you need just a little bit more.
I live with that shot if I'm the coach of the North.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And I don't live with that one if I'm the coach of the Gulf Coast lockdown.
Nah, you can take your time right now if you're Gulf Coast. You want to run down the clock as much as possible while not being too passive. You still want to close this one out. It is only a 10-point game, but I would have liked to see maybe some more thought process into that shot.
And that was Roy Mason, a 16% three-point shooter.
Yeah, that's yep. Not a great choice.
I believe that says it all.
Not much more to say about that. All right, quick defense, good deflection.
Yeah, and Enzo Wolf playing great D down there on the bigger Mason. He's got about, let's see, how many inches does Mason have on a Wolf? 7 inches. Man, that is a difference. And Enzo's on him still. Oh no, he's moving through.
7 inches and about, looks like 7 inches and about 80 pounds on him. Yeah.
Just a massive difference. Here's Mason right on cue. No good. And the North have a chance to do something here.
And now they're getting stopped, but now they got to get these buckets to go with them. They can't put them together at the same time, it seems. But that'll do it. Get to the line, see if Alex Rodriguez can get these 2 free points.
Yep, and the Joyce foul. That'll be his first, and Rodriguez has knocked down some free throws so far. These will be some big ones.
Some free throws here, another stop. I mean, they're absolutely still in this game. They just gotta finish it out.
Rodriguez, the first one knocks down. Subs coming on the court. I believe that's Suno Chapa coming in for KJ Allen.
Coming in to close it out. Let's see how it goes.
Good sub there. I'm looking to see some Suno offense on this next possession. A-Rod knocks down both. 8-point lead.
And where does Gulf Coast go here? That'll do it.
And De'Aaron Cruz it just runs right inside. No defense whatsoever to speak of.
They forgot how quick he was for a moment. They just got right by him, a little heavy, right by his man.
And that is a great timeout by the coach of the North. That is inexcusable defense if they want to come back in this game.
Yeah, and they are running out of time here. 4 minutes. It's not too little time to make a comeback here, but like from here on out, it's got to be consecutive stops, smart shots, buckets. There's no more time to kind of mess around. If they're gonna make the comeback, it has to start now.
It just has to be perfection on the floor. A-Rod has to hit his shots. They have to draw fouls. They have to play proper D, and they just can't let Chapa or Cruz cook. That is the key. And they got to keep Mason and I'm blanking on the name, Deontay Joyce out of the post as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, keeping Chop under wraps seems easier said than done in this one, but I completely agree that if they're going to make this comeback, that is something they're going to have to do.
It's going to be a tough one for sure as the timeout winds down. All right. We're going to see here if the North is a serious spoiler or not.
At the very least, they're giving a little worry to Gulf Coast. But again, we know what's at stake for Gulf Coast here. They're locked in. They've been locked in all game. I expect the same from them for the last 4 minutes. Would be a disappointing loss if the North was able to make this comeback. So for their sake, I'm hoping they don't. But for the sake of loving a good underdog story, you know, you might want to see the North do something.
I'm looking at Coach Hyman on the sideline, and he does not look very phased, if at all.
No, he's
Here's
confident.
Oh, man, that was a poor decision there by Rodriguez to go up on Joyce. Oh, man. Joyce just misses the layup on the other end.
All right, you couldn't hit the bucket, but you got the ball back quick. This has got to be a bucket here. They got to find a way to score.
Enzo Wolf for 3.
Big play, big play. Another stop here. This is big. Consecutive stops.
Huge shot by Enzo Wolf. Ooh. And you see Gulf Coast just not moving on offense. They got Suno Chapa handling. Here's a quick screen from Young. Chapa pulls up 3. No. Huge come the North.
It's not
Here
over.
they come. Rodriguez glides right through the D and puts it in, float over the basket, and the lead is down to 5.
What I do love about A-Rod's game as a scorer is he's got a short-term memory. He does not care if he misses a shot, gets blocked. He's going to play the same, and that's what you have to have as a great scorer.
Oh. And Akeem Young, after the block, takes it, slams it down on the smaller Wolf, draws the foul. Oh, man, what a response by Akeem Young.
I don't believe that Akeem Young's missed a shot tonight. I believe he's perfect from the field.
I don't think I've seen him miss either.
Most of those shots being dunks, but still, something to be said for a game where you don't miss a shot.
Man, Akeem Young here at the line, shooting this one shot, puts it in. That 3-point percentage. Correction, that free throw percentage.
No good dish. Smart shot here. You want a smart shot here.
It's a decent ball movement, but Gulf Coast is just playing scrappy defense.
Work.
Here's Cruz. Oh, interesting pass corner. Chapa 3. Got it!
Chapa is huge all night, and he makes a huge play right there.
Yeah, he was making that sweet string of music. He was looking great there as A-Rod is just trying to make something happen. Pesky defense of Roy Mason.
Ooh.
It affected him just enough to rim it out.
Big steal, big 3. Another great defensive possession for Gulf Coast, and it's looking more and more like they've got this one completely under wraps now.
I think we can call it here, Siege. 11 points with 142 remaining. That's going to be a tall task.
It'll be a tall task, but Let's see if Alex Rodriguez can pull off the miracle.
Looks like he'll try. Here's Rodriguez, got the ball on a string. Wisely passes it out. Great pass. 3 is just off.
Sometimes they just don't fall. They just don't fall.
And that's just not Kiefer's shot. He's also a 16% three-point shooter.
What's with all these 16% three-point shooters? Why is that? Akeem Young!
Man, Akeem Young on the board. It's a shame he didn't put that one in.
He's been a menace on the offensive glass tonight, as he is a lot of nights.
And that was his first miss of the night, I believe. Here's Enzo Wolf. Not doing very much. He's got the taller guy on him. Rodriguez.
Ooh, that's tough.
Tough 3 in the corner. They could have used that about a few minutes ago.
Put the pressure on. Put the pressure on.
Here's Enzo Wolf dinging up. Screen from Young. Shades off. Aaron Cruz, bigger guy on him, and both posts are just wasting time at this point. Ooh, another one. Slammed by Roy Mason on the inside, and he's lying down again. And crowd members had to catch him. Oh my goodness.
And
tough shot by Rodriguez there, and that will do it.
An emphatic dunk to cap it off from Roy Mason. A great night from him. A great night from Suno Choppa. A great night from Akeem Young. Gulf Coast had a mission tonight. They knew what was at stake, and they came out and they played a great game.
And that'll do it. Gulf Coast takes the win, 71-61, 10-point dub for Gulf Coast. And this increases their chance of being in the race to 1 as the North fall to 4-22, I believe. Tough record. And that'll cap off tonight's broadcast. We appreciate you all coming out and watching this edition of SimWorld Hoops. And as always, see the game, be the game.